Good afternoon. I'm Rick Dancer. Welcome to whatever this is. Get Real with Rick Dancer, a conversation. I wonder if I need to do this. Hold on. I'm going to put on a microphone here. There. Now I know you're there. And I can't hear you anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But sometimes it's kind of nice to put on the microphone. If I was a professional, I would have had all this. Haha. Now you can hear me. All right, we're there. Sorry. I didn't have my microphone plugged in right. You guys, you're dealing with people who are not professional. There you are. Okay, we're here. All right, I'm going to try plugging in this microphone too. And there. Now, I should be in both. Yeah, okay. We got it. We're there. All right, so is everybody on board? You're all there? You're good? Okay. So the first thing I find on my page this morning is a complaint from someone who says because I have on the mask that I have on, that it's not working and that I need to get a better mask. And I just want to say amateur. Does that what somebody just said? Gary, that's what you just said? Amateur? Slap. So, hey, Tawny, how are you? Yeah, it's a good morning. It's a good morning to be alive. I was just watching, I was getting kind of, last night, I started looking at some videos and some of the stuff that Kathy and I have gotten to do. I think sometimes you have to do that during this time of craziness and just hunkering down. For me, it's I have to hunker down and not get caught up in all the stuff going on around me, because there's just so much noise right now. And I was going to ask you guys, what do you think is going on, should go on with the schools? I've seen a lot of parents really super frustrated because their kids are not learning very well online. It's not going very well for their kids. Their kids are frustrated. And these parents are like, yeah, I want my kids to be safe, but I also want them to get back to school. Last thing yesterday, I had a customer tell me I need to go to the depot, but said the mask I had didn't work. I think people need to mind their own business when it comes to masks. Blessed life for sure, and it's all a matter of perspective. I agree, Bonnie. You have to get a perspective where you're going, you know what, I got to do what I got to do. And in 95, that's, yeah, but how many people are wearing different things and whatever's comfortable to get you out there? I'm homeschooling now and we love it. Public school system is awful right now. So Bonnie, can you homeschool your kids and just take care of it yourself? I'm so confused about everything. I am too, Janet. I don't know. I don't have kids, so I don't know what they're doing, but I know that I have not met a parent yet who says going through the public system is that it's working. We need uniformed information. Thanks, Jacob. I'd like to say we need kids to get back to school, but not sure it's actually safe. Yeah, I don't know either. We do need some uniform information. Rick, sit through what kids does with school online, and tell us what you think. Oh, sit through, see what they do. Yeah, I have not done that yet. I'd like to put together a show with some parents to talk about what's working and what's not working. Because, I mean, if this continues much longer, what do you do? I mean, are your kids really getting an education, or is this just like a wasted year? And I know a family that took off in their RV and are traveling the country right now, and doing homeschool while they're doing it, because they figured, you know what, we might as well go do something to get this going. I'm at the end of my rope. If we all can go to Walmart, our kids can go to school. So what's the hard part for you, Danielle, in terms of your kids? What are they not learning? I mean, kind of give me a hit. I don't have children in school, so I don't know. They really aren't. I'm doing the online thing with my little brother. It isn't working well at all, especially for kids with learning disabilities. I've had a lot of parents, not to be sexist, but of boys saying, how do you keep a little boy in front of a computer screen interested for 3.5 hours a day? And I thought, yeah, I have 2 of those, and I don't know that I would have been able to too, but I've never had a daughter, so I don't know if girls would be the same as well, or if they're, better at being able to focus and concentrate like that. But I know like high school kids too, that I've talked with, are real frustrated because they feel like they're not getting any socialization at all either. And I've noticed that even with my own friends, as I'm not out as much. I mean, are any of you kind of lonely for stuff? School said they messed up last spring, but it appears they made no corrections over the summer break. I've heard teachers also say, kind of friends of mine saying, how come we knew this was coming in March and April, and why are we started a system at the beginning of the school year and we weren't prepared, or at least the districts weren't prepared. We are doing great. My son is 12, my daughter 11, so they are pretty independent. We found a great curriculum that works for us. Like I said, it's all a matter of how we decide to react to it, which is given. So many things are out of our control, and we need to take that which is in our control and focus on that. My son has Asperger's, and we had to come up with solutions to keep him engaged, but we make it work. That's Bonnie, thank you. I appreciate you telling me that. My youngest are in person with masks. My 7th grader is alone in her room on Zoom most of the day. The isolation, the lack of activity, they are starting to lack motivation and drive. Kids play video games all day long. 2 to 3 hours of instruction shouldn't be that hard. Okay, DB, so I want to ask you that, do you have kids that age? I just want to ask you, because that sounds like an attitude of somebody who doesn't. We are prepared because they told us this was only going to last 2 weeks. In our district, K through 5 are going full time to school. Grades 6 through 12 are going 2 days of school. Where Selena, if I'm saying that, where are you? Can you tell me what district that is to? Army prepared. I feel bad for the teachers. A class full of 7-year-olds. I couldn't imagine more than one. Damn typos. There's another one, David. Small businesses are dying. Yeah, I know people, it's getting kind of rough out there. And then I heard where the numbers were up, like pretty high in Lane County. I have a 5-year-old. Do you? Okay, well, I guess you are doing better than some. Sutherland. Okay, so that's what's going on in Sutherland. That's another thing, is because all the districts are so different. Some are going to school, some are doing part-time, some are doing no time. I don't even honestly know what's going on here in Springfield and Eugene, because I don't have kids in school, so I have no idea anymore. My son will be done with his 7th grade curriculum. All 4 required subjects along with coding in February. My daughter will be done in May. What I have found is that the public school system has actually kept my kids behind when they are actually working above their grade level. Huh. That's super interesting, Bonnie. So, and I'm guessing, Bonnie, with a kid, with a child with Asperger's, or on the spectrum like that there would be, that the individual stuff might be really helpful too. Because I know a lot of kids on the spectrum get lost in the socialization of school and all the stuff that goes on there. And that might be an interesting, thought. But yeah, I wish I could find like an expert, but I honestly, I feel like we're flying by the seat of our pants. I don't think we really know what works, what doesn't work, um, what's happening. Eugene is all about small businesses. That is one of the biggest reasons I moved here, and it hurts to see small businesses struggling. It seems every day one of my gym members loses their job because of the 50% capacity. Um, Jacob, here's what I'm going to disagree with you on one thing. I don't think we're all about small business in Eugene. I would have said that when I worked at KUZI. Now that I've had a small business in Oregon and Eugene, I don't think this is about small businesses in this town. No. I see it more in Springfield, but I don't see that here. I don't think people understand the value of small businesses. It's a buzzword. We say it, but I don't think people really, not in the rules and the regulations and the, look, when small businesses, when the riots were happening and businesses were getting, destroyed, innocent businesses, did our city come to the rescue or say anything about businesses? Not a word. Hush. Crickets. That says everything to me. Private Christian grade schools in Eugene are open. Saw them playing at recess this week. Okay. Makes me wonder if this year's seniors will be able to graduate. They'll probably just give them a pass and not even think about it. Whereas in other years past, they've had to do all this other stuff. One of the hardest parts is keeping them interested in material. Even though the teacher's on a video, they are distracted. At what point do we know if this distance learning is failing or succeeding? Do we test the children at check-ins? Do we have child in school at school Monday through Thursday? My husband and I long ago made a decision. We are not homeschool type parents. We chose to send our kids to public school. Yeah, my wife and I would not be good homeschool parents either. Just need to open up everything. Yeah, I have a feeling that is not going to happen. It is crazy. So maybe, okay, I want to get a few more things here. Exactly. This also leads me to believe their potential is not being met or even discovered in the system. And yes, my son has been doing 10 times better with this schooling since we started. I'm glad to hear that. There is something, Catherine, I don't know what that is because it doesn't say. If you'd explain what that is, I could go to it, but then I'd leave the system, and I don't want to do that. So, okay, so let's talk about like solutions instead of, I don't want to be a complainer. I think teachers are doing the best they can, but it's hard to keep 20 plus kids doing what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I have no, but I've had a client who said, gosh, I'd really like to figure out the schools because you got a lot of kids that are really anxious, anxieties at an all-time high, depressions at an all-time high. I think adults are that way too. I think people are really on edge when people come on my page and have to tell me that I have the wrong mask. It's like, shut the hell up. Go worry about your own mask and I'll worry about mine. But that's how on edge people are. It's none of your freaking business about my mask. And when did it become okay for you to stick your face over the fence and start staring at other people and critiquing what they do? I've pulled a bunch of people off my page because I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. And I got to do what I got to do to keep my brain up and to keep my attitude going. And it's not easy in these days, and I'm trying to focus on the positive things. And as somebody said earlier, the things I can change. There's some things I can't change, but there's some things that I can. And so that's what I'm going to focus on. But what I don't need is people peeking in my windows and people looking on my page. And then if you're sitting there and looking at someone's page and the first thing you can do is critique them, you need to get a life. You need to go figure out what you're doing in your life and go figure out why you have to pick on other people or picking apart other people. Kids with IEPs and special therapies are falling through the cracks. The options and opportunities to learn properly are minimal. They basically send us YouTube videos for us to watch. Wow. So how is that meeting the IEP for a special needs kid? If they have an IEP that says you're supposed to be doing this, how you can't even meet that? Did you see they are starting to say no plexiglass face shields, or at least they are recommending not to use them? Why don't we wrap our face in like a gauze and cover the whole thing up and then just so that just your nostrils come out and a little oh no, you can't do that. Maybe we could start learning how to breathe out of our ear. Honestly, what I think, I don't think they know what can prevent it, because maybe a virus has to do what it's going to do. I don't know. Um, I think the solution is to make mask wearing and social distancing a choice. If people are scared, they can stay home. If they believe the mask are keeping them well, see that. Okay, I don't not disagree with you. I'll just be really careful. The funny thing is, one person came on my page, and I did a video for our gym, and the person came on and said, "What did they say?" Not one of them was that's not the right mask, and I'm like, okay, oh, here we go. I'm already exhale out of my butt. Oh, they said, they came on and said, that's not the right mask. You're going to end up getting sick, COVID. And I thought, and there's so much information and misinformation, but I thought originally they said that the mask was to prevent other people from getting it. So if I'm wearing the wrong mask, why am I going to get COVID if I'm actually having the mask to prevent other people from getting COVID? And so that's what I don't know. I like the breathing out of your ears idea. Laugh out loud. If a mask makes you feel warm and fuzzy, then wear one. But even Dr. Fauci says masks don't work unless you have a special mask that stops viruses. I honestly do think that a lot of the masks don't work, and people are just putting them on because it's like, okay, well, I have to wear a mask. Here's a mask. Kids with special needs are not getting proper services they have IEPs for. Schools need to allow accommodations in person for special needs kids. Yeah, because special needs kids don't quite, yeah, well, I'll be careful. Once the vaccine comes out, they're going to turn right around and start saying the masks don't work at all, and everyone needs to get the vaccine to keep others safe, because logic doesn't matter with the propaganda. So does it concern people that the numbers are going up in Lane County? I think it was 40 yesterday, and that's not just yesterday. They don't show all the information anymore, but as I understand it from before, those could be cases like 3 weeks ago, but it's still overnight. They're reporting 40. I think it was 42 or something like that, new ones. So I'm wondering how that plays into what you believe and what you think. One thing that I'm going to go up here like that. One thing, like Bonnie, I think, said earlier, is just, we have to keep, like right now we're coming into a 2-week hell period. And I would say it's going to be a 3-week hell period, because we're coming into the election. We've got debates tomorrow night. Got a lot of misinformation out there. We've got COVID. We've got our numbers rising. Our kids are frustrated. Parents are frustrated. So you really have to find your happy place. You have to find something to keep your mind from going crazy. And I have friends that I saw today on here, and they're saying, I nearly killed myself over the weekend. I'm struggling. I'm anxious. I feel hopeless and all that. And that is a really, that's scary. That's scary to me, that this lockdown and the way that we as a country are treating each other, the way the media is reporting, we are destroying people. I mean, literally. Do we all need to find ways to deal with this and strategies? Yeah, but some of us aren't quite up for that. Do your own research and go vote. Take all the media and news crap. Yeah, here's what I would say about that. I couldn't imagine actually staying inside since March. It would be not living. Yeah, I haven't either. The media is the problem. I think we're all the problem, kind of. We've grown into a country that we listen to what we want to hear. Whatever tickles our ears, we listen to. I believe you if you agree with me. I know of no positive change that has occurred through bullying. And you know what, Bill, is so interesting about that? I totally agree with you. And what I think is really interesting is most people, I don't know, maybe not, maybe it's just me. You bully me, I dig my heels in. You know what I mean? The harder you push, the more I push back. And so your bullying doesn't do anything for me. And I know people come on here and they're passive aggressive and they're like, you really need to take a stand on this. And it's like, shut the hell up. I don't have to do anything. I'm a human being, terrified for a friend right now. That is not right. Yeah, it's in Coos County, and our numbers have just went up too. I wear a mask out, practice this in, come home, wash up. Been working for me, to each his own. I've seen locals and tourists not wearing masks. I work in retail, and I've seen both ends of the spectrum being ridiculed because I'm living in fear for wearing a mask. See, Hannah, that's just not right. People shouldn't be doing that. I don't think we should be ridiculing anybody for anything. When is the last time the media broadcast all of the good going on? Okay, maybe we should do that. Okay, so Gary has it. Because people are tested, so the numbers increase. I don't have the answer right now. So who said that? Okay, so let's talk about the good, okay? There's a 9-year-old boy in Springfield, and he's on hospice. And I don't really know what it is. I've seen pictures, but he's on hospice. And apparently, this 9-year-old Austin wants to have Christmas. But apparently, that might not be, he may not live that long. So they're asking people to decorate their homes for Christmas on November 1st. For Austin, a little boy who we don't know. And people are crawling out of the woodwork to get Christmas decorations up by November 1st because a 9-year-old boy on hospice is asking for it. Okay? A woman in Springfield had somebody vandalize her window in the Busy Bee Cafe. Betty went on our show, and you guys came to her rescue. And I don't know how much you raised. I'm going to call her later and find out. I just talked to her this morning, but she was busy. But I've had people say they stopped by the restaurant and there was a line outside the door. And they were just busier than hell because you heard about it and you went to the rescue of a business person that needed your help. There's Christmas lights early for Austin. Yeah. There was people last night on here from Eastern Washington, ranchers, who lost hundreds of cattle, all their grazing land, all their hay, their barns, and people all over the Pacific Northwest are donating trucks and hay and food for these animals. You know what, Ashley, it's on my page from yesterday. I don't know that there's an address on there. I've been trying to do something, but they want to keep it kind of private, which I can completely understand. But if you go on there and look for Austin, it's on my page and it's all over the internet. I'll try to find out more later to get that on there. What else is going on? That's good. Last night I went home to my house and my wife had made a cake for our 41st date anniversary. The first time we went on a date was 41 years ago. Those are the things you have to remember at times like this. you have to kind of remember, you don't remember the people who bitched about your mic, your mask, or gave you a dirty look because you disagree with them, or posted their very moral voting standard on the Facebook page so everyone can see they're voting for the right candidate and you're voting for the wrong one. The firefighters getting returned to their families, that's a positive story. There's a church group that makes goodie bags for LEOs. Such a great thing because lets them know we care. Next Friday on the 30th, one of my clients, Chris Dental, here in Eugene, and they are doing we hired Big Daddy Barbecue, and they're going to set up right outside the Springfield Police Department, and we're going to have Springfield police officers and also the first responders in Springfield come down, and we're going to feed them just because we can. Those are the things going on in our community that we have to start focusing on. And then if people just want to, if people want to bitch and cry and moan because you don't have the right mask, or because you don't have, you're not voting for the person they want you to vote for, and please vote. You need to vote. You need to participate in this election. The shot is not a guarantee. Like the flu shot, you can still get the flu. Vaccines will not take care of every flu. Marla, I agree with you. And I don't, and it's hard to talk about this because then people jump on you, but whatever. I don't, a virus is going to do what a virus is going to do, and we can not control that. We can manage it to a point, but it's still going to get people sick. And I think personally, this is my own opinion, I'm not a doctor, but I think when you try to lock people down, what you've done is you just got people, so they're still going to get it and they're going out. So now more people are out and they're getting it, and you can't stop. You can't stop the virus. If they get a vaccine, yeah, but you can't. We did they did a job of keeping people out of the hospitals, and I understand all that. But at some point, people are going to there's a certain percentage of people that are going to get this, and you can't. It's just like with the, and I know this is more, I'm not trying to compare it to the flu, but other illnesses that come on, a certain number of people get it and a certain number of people don't. We don't know why. Are you a mail-in voter or in person? Nicholas, are you an Oregonian? We don't have an option in Oregon. We are all mail-in voters. So yeah, I did my duty, and then I turned it into the elections department. I don't put it through the mail. I don't distrust the mail. I just want to do it myself. If you don't vote, you can't bitch. Exactly. County Sheriff's Office stopped shaving to support children's nonprofit. Oh, that's cool, James. That's a great idea. Nicholas, yes, you are an Oregonian. Well, then you can't vote in person in Oregon, right? Positive news, just in my circle, that's not COVID related. My little brother, he's 43, finished his first 150-mile race over the weekend. He had to drop out of the last 3 legs of leg cramps. Oh, I've done that. David, yes. Oh, I haven't had to drop out, but you get leg cramps and you're shot. I understand that. Okay, so I gotta move, but let me tell you. So tonight at 5:00, we'll be checking in with the New Leaf Hyperbaric and Wellness Center. Matt McCarl's gonna be in the tank. He's got a special coming up, and if you guys have never done that, you really need to try it. I'll tell you, it's like it's like a breath of fresh air. No, it's pure oxygen, and it's really good for your immune system. So it's something, if you are feeling, you can't feel sick and go in there, but if you're feeling like you need to do something to boost your immune system. The other thing that I'll tell you is, another one of my clients is Any Lab Test Now. They do like over 8,000 different tests, but they tested me for vitamin D deficiency, and I have it. So you can go in and get vitamin D shots, and there's some evidence out there. We're going to talk with Stephanie on Friday. There's some evidence that vitamin D, if you have enough, that it can also help your immunity system and help you ward off COVID. So it's not a cure. It's not like take your vitamin D, but it can. There is some evidence towards that. I voted and I'm dropping my ballot off in the ballot drop box today. Good job, Jessica. Yeah, I never ask people who they're voting for because I don't really want to know. And when people ask me, I don't tell them, because in Oregon, we have a secret ballot. And all people do when you tell them how you vote is then they judge you. And we've got enough of that. I don't need any more judgment from anybody. And so I never, even when I ran for Secretary of State, if it was an issue that had nothing to do with the office, I tell the media, it's none of your business. And they hated that. Because they think it is their business and it's not. So anyway, you got to make up your own mind. I'd suggest not watching television for a few weeks. Get yourself out of there. All right. So tune in tonight at 5. Give Matt a little love. Share this on your page if you want to. You don't have to. It's up to you. I'm going to go back to work doing other things that I do for a living. And may go take a little walk to get me some vitamin D. That sounds like a good idea. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. See you tonight. All right. Bye-bye.